Why studying feels like a scam but ain't. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just go ahead and say it. Studying feels like a scam, don't it? I mean, think about it. You spend all these years staring at books, taking notes, reading the same page 10 times before you finally get what it says. And just when you start feeling smart, here comes another test trying to humble you real quick. It's like life is playing a prank on you. And let's talk about the struggle, because I know you've been there. You sit down, open the book, and suddenly everything else in the world becomes interesting. You start thinking about food, that one song stuck in your head, why you haven't texted your friend back, and what happened to that childhood toy you lost years ago. Anything and everything becomes more important than studying. And let's not even get started on procrastination. You tell yourself, I'm just going to check my phone for 5 minutes, and next thing you know, the sun is coming up and you've watched 3 seasons of a show you don't even like. But let me tell you something. If you ever feel like studying is pointless, like all this knowledge is going in one ear and out the other, you are not alone. You're human. It happens. But let me help you flip your perspective real quick. See, studying ain't just about passing a test. It's not about memorizing dates, formulas, or definitions just to forget them right after the exam. Nah, studying is about building something bigger, your future. You are training your mind to think, to process, to understand how to solve problems. And let me tell you, life is one big test. There's no syllabus, no cheat sheet, no teacher giving you multiple choice questions. Life hits you with the pop quizzes, unexpected bills, job interviews, family problems, and decisions that can make or break your future. And if you haven't trained yourself to study, to learn, to adapt, you're going to fail some real life exams that ain't got no retakes. And let's talk about the idea that studying is only for school. Who told you that lie? Studying is a lifelong game. It don't stop when you graduate. If you think you can go through life without learning, let me warn you right now, you're in for a rude awakening. Every job, every relationship, every new opportunity you get in life requires you to learn something. The most successful people in the world, they never stop studying. They don't sit around talking about how much they already know. They stay hungry for knowledge. You ever wonder why the same people keep winning? It's because they keep learning. The world changes every single day. New skills, new technologies, new ways of doing things. If you stop learning, you get left behind, and that's real. So here's the deal. Studying is not a scam. It's an investment. You ever seen a broke man complain about learning too much? No. But I know plenty of people struggling because they thought learning ended when school did. The world is built by those who never stop learning. Every great business leader, doctor, engineer, and entrepreneur is a student for life. They understand that studying ain't just something you do in school. It's something you do for success. And if you're sitting there thinking, man, I just want to get through this semester, you're aiming too low. Stop studying just to get by. Start studying to be great. Now, I know somebody out there is thinking, but I ain't got the patience for all this. Studying is boring. Oh, I get it, but let me ask you this. What's more boring, studying now or struggling later because you don't know what you're doing? What's more painful, putting in the work today or regretting tomorrow because you didn't take the time to prepare? You see, studying is one of those things where the pain is temporary, but the rewards are forever. It's like working out. Nobody wants to hit the gym every day, but everybody wants to be in shape. Well, guess what? Success works the same way. You got to put in the work when you don't feel like it so you can enjoy the rewards when it matters most. So if you're tired of studying, if you're ready to quit, remember this. Studying is your preparation for an opportunity you haven't met yet. Stay ready so when life calls, you don't have to get ready. Your mind is your greatest investment. Now let me break this down real simple. Your brain is $1 billion business. But the way some folks treat it, you'd think it was a yard sale with a take whatever you want time. Just handing out valuable time to every distraction that comes knocking. Social media, video games, mindless scrolling. Just letting anything and everything check in like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. But here's what most people don't realize. The world pays those who know something, not the ones who just talk about success, not the ones who hope for success, but the ones who have put in the hours, learned the skills, and mastered the knowledge. See, when you invest in your mind, you're building something bigger than a degree, bigger than a diploma. You're building a skill set that nobody can take from you. Because here's the truth. Money comes and goes, jobs come and go, but knowledge, that stays, that grows, that multiplies. The smartest investment you'll ever make. Let's talk about investments for a second. Everybody wants to invest in stocks, real estate, crypto, but let me tell you, the greatest investment you will ever make is in yourself. You see, when you put money into the stock market, you're hoping it grows. When you invest in real estate, you're hoping the value goes up. But when you invest in your knowledge, it's a guaranteed return. You don't need a broker. You don't need a business loan. All you need is commitment to learning, because once you develop skills, once you understand things on a deeper level, guess what? The world starts paying you for what you know. Look around at the people who are really successful, the ones driving the best cars, living in the best homes, making the big moves. They didn't just get lucky. They didn't wake up one day and fall into success. They studied. They learned, they mastered something. You think lawyers get paid hundreds of dollars an hour just because they dress nice? No, it's because they put in years of studying to understand the law. You think doctors get six-figure salaries just because they have a fancy title? No, it's because they spent years investing in their minds. So let me ask you, why are you treating education like a side hustle when it should be your main business? The price of distraction is your future. Now let's talk about the real enemy of success, distraction. Some of y'all would rather spend 5 hours binge watching a show than spend 1 hour learning something that could change your life. And then a few years from now, you're going to be sitting there wondering, why other people are winning, why you still stuck in the same place? It's because they focused while you were distracted. They invested while you were procrastinating. They sacrificed while you were making excuses. Think about this. Every hour you waste today is an hour of success you are stealing from your future. You keep saying, I'll start tomorrow. Then tomorrow comes and you push it back again. And before you know it, a whole year has gone by and you're still stuck at square one. You cannot afford to keep waiting. You cannot afford to keep putting your future on hold, because every second you waste, someone else is using that time to get ahead. And let's be clear, success is not a race against other people. It's a race against your own potential. The only competition is who you could become versus who you're choosing to be right now. Flip the script. Become a student of success. You want to know the real secret? The most successful people in the world never stop learning. The moment you stop growing, you start falling behind. I don't care if you're a student, a professional, an entrepreneur. Learning is the key to every level of success. You can either be a student of success or a victim of ignorance. And ignorance is expensive. It costs you opportunities. It costs you financial freedom. It costs you the life you could have had if you had just taken the time to invest in yourself. So here's what you need to do. Start treating your education like it's your life's most valuable asset, because it is. From this moment forward, I need you to stop making excuses and start making progress. I need you to stop saying, I don't feel like it, and start saying, I owe this to myself. Because the truth is, 5 years from now, you'll either be grateful that you put in the work today or wishing you had started sooner. And trust me, regret is way heavier than discipline. Discipline beats intelligence every time. Let's pick up right where we left off. In the last keynote, we talked about how your mind is your greatest investment, how the people who win in life are the ones who commit to learning, block out distractions, and treat their education like $1 billion business. But here's the thing. Even if you understand the value of knowledge, even if you see how powerful learning is, none of that means a thing if you don't have the discipline to apply it. Because success is not about how smart you are, it's about how consistent you are. Talent is overrated. Discipline is the real game changer. Too many people believe in this myth that success is about being naturally gifted, that the top students, the most successful entrepreneurs, the high achievers, they were just born that way. But that's a lie. The truth, discipline beats intelligence every time. There are plenty of people out there with sky-high IQs, but they never go anywhere because they lack discipline. Meanwhile, you've got people who may not be the most naturally gifted, but they outwork everyone else, and guess what? They win. Think about the difference between a lottery winner and a self-made millionaire. A lottery winner gets rich overnight, but because they never learn financial discipline, they're usually broke again in a few years. Meanwhile, the self-made millionaire who started from nothing, built wealth through knowledge, effort, and consistency, that same principle applies to your education, your career, and your success. You don't need luck. You don't need to be a genius. You just need the discipline to show up every single day and put in the work. Small daily wins lead to massive success. People mess up because they want instant results. They sit down to study once and expect to become an expert overnight. They put in a little effort and get frustrated when they don't see immediate success. But that's not how greatness works. Success is not about making one big move. It's about making small, consistent moves every single day. One extra hour of studying today might not feel like much, but do it every day for a year, you're a different person. One chapter of a book might seem like nothing, but read consistently and suddenly you know more than 90% of the people around you. One sacrificed distraction might feel small, but do it over and over, now you're miles ahead of everyone who wasted their time. You ever heard the saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard? That's the truth. The world is full of wasted potential because people relied on talent instead of developing discipline. The battle is won in the mind. Let's be honest. Discipline is hard. It's not fun. It's way easier to choose comfort over progress. Your mind will try to trick you into thinking you need a break when you haven't even started. It'll tell you I'll do it tomorrow, knowing good and well that tomorrow will turn into next week, next month, next year. But here's what separates winners from everybody else. They don't listen to they push through when they don't feel like it. They study when they'd rather watch TV. They wake up early when they'd rather sleep in. And after a while, something changes. What used to feel like a struggle becomes a habit. And what used to feel like a habit becomes a lifestyle of success. Because discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. The difference between I wish and I did. Think about this. Every successful person you look up to had moments where they wanted to quit, where they didn't feel like studying, working, or pushing forward. The only difference between them and the people who failed is that they didn't stop. So here's the question. Are you going to be the person who wishes they had put in the work or the person who actually did it? Because 5 years from now, two types of people will exist. The one saying, man, I wish I had just stuck with it. And the one saying, I'm so glad I never quit. And trust me, you want to be in that second group. Now, in the next keynote, we're going to talk about why the short-term pain of discipline is nothing compared to the long-term pain of regret. Because while studying, working, and grinding might feel tough right now, regret is the heaviest weight you'll ever carry. Pain now, power later. We've talked about how your mind is your greatest investment, how the people who win in life are the ones who feed their minds with knowledge, not distractions. We've also broken down the truth that discipline beats intelligence every time, that the people who succeed aren't necessarily the smartest, but they are the ones who show up and put in the work every single day. But now we need to talk about something even deeper. Why is it so hard to stay disciplined? Why does studying feel like a struggle? Why do we keep putting things off? Because success comes with pain. But what most people don't realize is that so does failure. The only difference is one pain lasts for a short time and the other lasts forever. The pain of discipline versus the pain of regret. Right now you have a choice to make. You can either go through the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And let me tell you, one of these is temporary and the other will haunt you for the rest of your life. The pain of discipline, that's waking up early to study when you'd rather sleep. That's staying focused when your friends are out having fun. That's reading, learning, growing, even when it feels like nobody is watching and nothing is happening. But the pain of regret, that's looking back years from now and realizing you wasted your potential. That's knowing you could have been great, but you chose to be comfortable instead. That's sitting in a life you don't want, all because you refused to do the hard work when it mattered. See, discipline is tough, but it pays you back with freedom, power, and opportunity. Regret, on the other hand, it costs you everything. Sacrifice now, shine later. Think about the people who are winning in life, the ones running businesses, leading companies, living the dream. You think they just got lucky? No, they made sacrifices when nobody was watching. While other people were relaxing, they were working. While others were partying, they were studying. While others were scrolling through social media, they were building their future. Because here's the truth. Every hour you sacrifice today is a step closer to the life you want tomorrow. And I get it. Nobody likes to sacrifice in the moment. You want to enjoy life. You want to take it easy. You want to have fun. But let me tell you something. If you sacrifice nothing now, you'll be forced to sacrifice everything later. That's how life works. You either pay the price up front or pay the price forever. Comfort is a trap. One of the biggest lies people believe is that if something is hard, it's not meant for them. That if studying feels exhausting, if learning feels frustrating, if staying consistent feels like a battle, it must mean they're not cut out for success. Let me tell you something. Comfort is a trap. Success is supposed to be hard. Growth is supposed to be uncomfortable. That's how you know you're on the right path. You ever see how muscles grow? They tear first. The pain comes first, then the strength. That's exactly how success works. So if you're struggling right now, if it feels like studying is a fight, if it feels like focusing is harder than ever, good. That means you're doing something right. That means you're growing. But if you give up now, if you choose comfort over progress, that means you're settling. And let me tell you, the world is full of people who settled. They settled for average grades. They settled for an average career. They settled for an average life. And now they're stuck in a cycle of wishing they had done things differently. Don't let that be you. What you do today creates your future. Every successful person you see today was once in your shoes. They once had a choice to push through the struggle or take the easy way out. And the only reason they're winning today is because they chose discipline over comfort, growth over ease, sacrifice over entertainment. Now it's your turn. Years from now, you'll either be grateful for the work you put in today, or you'll be stuck wondering what could have been. And trust me, regret is the heaviest weight you'll ever carry. So from this moment on, make a decision. Will you sacrifice now so you can shine later, or will you take it easy now and struggle forever? Because one thing is for sure, the pain is coming either way. The only question is, will it make you or break you? The power of the decision you make today. Let me remind you of something I said earlier. Success is not about luck, connections, or even talent. It's about discipline and knowledge. The world doesn't pay you for what you could have done. It pays you for what you've earned. And the price of that earning is your commitment, your discipline, and your willingness to do the work that others aren't willing to do. Now, I've said a lot today. We've talked about how your mind is the greatest investment you'll ever make, how discipline is the real secret to success, and how the pain of sacrifice today will pay off tomorrow. But all of that is useless unless you make a decision right now. Because here's the truth. You cannot wait for the perfect moment to get started. The perfect moment doesn't exist. It doesn't come wrapped in a bow. And it doesn't give you a sign. If you're waiting for things to be easier, for the stars to align, or for life to be less demanding, you're going to be waiting forever. You have to start with what you have, where you are, and who you are right now. You've got to make a decision today that this is the moment you stop procrastinating, stop waiting for the right time, and start putting in the work. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I'm too busy, or I'm not sure I can do it, or I don't have the resources I need. Listen, every successful person once thought the same thing. The difference between the successful and the unsuccessful is how they chose to respond to those feelings. You may be scared, unsure, or even frustrated with where you are right now. But guess what? That's the exact feeling you're supposed to have, because when you're uncomfortable, when you feel the challenge, when you face resistance, that's where the growth happens. But none of this matters unless you take action. The power of your decision. Let me give it to you straight. Every choice you make today shapes who you'll be tomorrow. The decision you make today, right here, right now, will determine the quality of your future. You can choose to take the easy road, or you can choose to face the discomfort, the grind, and the challenge of building something great. The hard truth is, there's no easy way to success. You can't skip the hard parts. You can't cheat the process. The only way to win is to put in the work and stay committed even when it's uncomfortable. But here's the good news. Every step you take toward your goal builds momentum. Every hour of study, every minute of focus, every small sacrifice you make will eventually add up. You might not see it today or tomorrow or even next month, but let me promise you something. It will pay off. When you choose to study instead of procrastinating, you're investing in a future you can't see yet. When you choose to be disciplined, even when your mind is telling you to quit, you're creating a version of yourself that the world hasn't seen yet, and that person is unstoppable. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. You don't have to know all the answers. But if you commit to the process, stay disciplined, and choose to take action every single day, you will build the future you desire. The two paths, one of regret, one of success. Now, I want you to picture something. In 5 years, you'll either be sitting in the same place you are today, wishing you had started sooner, wishing you had been more disciplined, wishing you had made better decisions, or you'll be living the results of the hard work, the sacrifices, and the decisions you made today. You'll be looking back and saying, I'm glad I didn't quit. And here's the kicker. You get to decide which version of yourself you'll be. You are not at the mercy of your circumstances. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are defined by your choices. So I ask you now, what's your decision? Are you going to be the person who wishes they had started earlier, or the person who does what it takes to build the future they want? Because at the end of the day, there are two kinds of pain in life. The pain of discipline, which is uncomfortable but short-lived and leads to success. The pain of regret, which lasts forever and leaves you with nothing but what ifs. You don't want to live with regret. You don't want to look back and wonder what might have been. The time is now. The decision is yours. Start today and keep going every single day. There's no better time than now to bet on yourself, to choose discipline, to choose sacrifice, and to choose a future that's worth everything you're about to put in. Now go out there and make it happen. You've got this, and your future self will thank you.